Bellator 216 shit the fucking bed. Can we be real? It shit the bed. I don't know why, but when Bellator puts on these cards and the sort of narrative going into it is guaranteed fireworks, and MVP and Paul Daley grapple each other for 5 rounds. I don't know what Bellator has to do. I mean, I know why this sort of stuff happens. Do you know why? It's because people complain about the UFC having the money to show and the money to win bonus. Like, you get a bonus half your pay for winning. Bellator doesn't do that. They do the money for show. And I think it takes a lot of the drive out of some of the guys. Now, listen to this. I don't know how I feel about the main event. I thought Paul Daley did enough to win. A lot of people were saying, oh yeah, but the offense that he got off from on top wasn't enough to secure him the win. But he still got top position. And I saw a lot of stuff like the commentators were talking at one point about standing them up. And I've never understood stand-ups in my entire... I understood them 3 years ago when I didn't know what the... Not 3 years ago. Like, I understood them like 6 years ago and I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. I was like, stand these guys up. Were they gay or something? Get off each other. You know, like, I didn't understand a fucking thing about the game. I've never understood stand-ups. I don't know why they spoke about it. I had people in my chat saying, should it be stood up? If people aren't striking each other... So if Woodley and Thompson aren't striking each other like they did in their second fight, or Maya and Woodley aren't striking each other like in the middle rounds of their fight, do we do get downs? Why are we giving so much benefit to the strikers just because they're more entertaining to the drunk fans that are sitting at the back of the arena? I've never understood get down. I've never understood stand-ups, sorry. Get downs would be very confusing as well because the ref would get down, one guy would start fucking dancing, the other one would get on his back, you know, it'd be a weird situation. But I've never understood stand-ups. The guy's on top position, the guy's on bottom, the guy on bottom is looking at the ref. What are you fucking looking at the ref for? The only person who's going to decide for you to get back up is you. So get fucking working. If you can't get up off of your ass when a man is on top of you, then maybe you should work on your fucking wrestling. You don't get no bypass because the guy is not punching you enough. And Paul Daley was. He was trying to land punches. They were fighting hands with each other. MVP was sort of doing 2-on-1 to stop the overhand from Paul Daley. Paul Daley was sort of tapping him in the stomach and shit like that. But I've never understood stand-ups. Never. It's a part of MMA. It's a wrestling. And how do you win a wrestling? Let's look at this. Parts of MMA. Jiu-Jitsu. How do you win Jiu-Jitsu tournaments? You pass positions. Okay? You get submissions. That's how you win submission. That's how you win Jiu-Jitsu. That's all in effect in UFC. Or MMA in general. Sorry. Bellator. Fucking hell. Forgot this wasn't UFC. Then you've got stand-up. How do you win stand-up? You fucking outstrike a guy. And if the guy's getting outstruck, then that's it. He loses. He loses that. You don't win that. How do you win wrestling? You put a guy on his ass and you keep him there. Collegiate wrestling. You put a guy on his ass and you keep him there longer than he keeps you there. Is the gist of it. If he can't get back up, why is he getting an up? Why because the drunk casual fans in the crowd are booing, the questions of standing them up come up. You have to get fucking back up. You can't just go to your back, hold on to the guy and be like, he's not doing anything. Look, get us back up right now. I have no ground game whatsoever. And can we talk about that? MVP has no fucking ground game. That's what we learned. If we learned anything, I thought Paul Daley won narrowly. I watched it again. I thought I was a bit overstating it a bit the first time when I said it on stream. I thought, okay, I can see how maybe you give a round to MVP, but I still thought that Paul Daley won. But I'm not angry at the decision because here's why. Paul Daley has lost against John Fitch, who's in the tournament, Rory McDonald, who's in the tournament, Douglas Lima, who's in the tournament. I don't want to see any of those matches again. He got whooped by all of them, you know? MVP at least poses a new face, you know, a new style of opponent for these guys that are still in the tournament. And MVP is the star behind the promotion, which may have played a factor in the decision. Not saying anything, but, you know, a little bit fishy. I just feel like it'll be more fun now. I'm over it already. I'm over the decision. I'm over the fact that Paul Daley lost. MVP looked good on the feet, looked shit on the ground. And that's Paul Daley doing that to you. Paul Daley doesn't do that to anyone. Okay? If Paul Daley's doing that to you, imagine what John Fitch is going to do to you. The guy who did that to Paul Daley. And did it worse. Imagine what Rory McDonald is going to do. The guy who took down Paul Daley and choked him out within minutes. You know? Douglas Lima brutalized Paul Daley. Okay? I understand. And honestly, I have to say this. Well done, MVP. You won. Your father passed away. I'm happy for you. You needed this win. If he would have lost, it would have done some things to his mental game. I've just broke my mic and it's hanging on by a fucking thread. I don't know if you guys can see that. But this mic is fucking falling apart. If this bit moves a tiniest amount, it's going to all fall apart. Anyway, yeah, Paul Daley got brutalized by all of those guys. Everyone in the welterweight Grand Prix at Bellator is licking their fucking lips. Licking their lips. Looking at MVP on his back. That's exactly what they're doing. They're like, how do we fix this enigma? That's what they were thinking before this fight happened. Ooh, the Rubik's Cube of MVP. How do we beat this unbeatable opponent? He's such a weird style. Somebody's got to figure him out soon. Who's going to write the blueprint? It turns out the striker Paul Daley is going to write the grappling blueprint to beat MVP. Imagine that. Imagine Paul Daley out wrestling you. That's a bit funny, isn't it? That is a bit funny. That is a bit funny. I will say this though. Paul Daley as a striker wanted none of the striking of MVP, and I think that just shows something because MVP was landing. And he landed a good jump front kick, fucking switch front kick to the face of Paul Daley, good front kicks to the body, a side kick now and again, a good jab now and again. I don't think he landed anything huge that rocked him. He landed one where it looked like Paul Daley was hurt, but I think he was just baiting him in for the takedown. But yeah, Rory McDonald, Douglas Lima especially, because Douglas Lima's next, was watching that fight, licking their lips. Oh, free money. Thank you very much, MVP. You don't have any takedown defense. You don't have any ground game whatsoever. You and those long legs built for triangles don't have any ground game whatsoever. Oh, I'm going to absolutely molest you. If MVP and anyone left in the tournament right now at welterweight were in prison, MVP would be in big trouble. Big trouble, because they would control that man on the ground and do whatever they want with him. Whatever they want. If Rory wants to control him on the ground and keep him there, that's what he's going to do. If Rory wants to take him to the ground and submit him within a minute, that's what he's going to fucking do. And I know you say, oh, well, obviously he's going to be working on that now. You don't learn a lifetime of skills in 6 months, say, whenever his next fight's going to be. You don't. And I feel like as much as I'm glad MVP won, in retrospect, because he's a bigger star, he's more interest behind him. I don't know, after that fight, maybe he lost a bit of fans. But he still won, still undefeated, still an interesting marketing tool that they could use. And yeah, I just think that everyone else in the division at welterweight right now is licking their fucking lips. Because you think, what's Rory McDonald thinking when he's watching this at home? Because I know fighters say, oh, I wasn't really paying attention, but you fucking are paying attention or you don't give a shit about your job. They're going to watch that fight, and what do you think Rory McDonald's thinking at home? Wait, Paul Daley's out wrestling you? Look what I did to Paul Daley. That's what Rory McDonald's thinking. I'm just going to go out here and out wrestle the guy. Easy. He's literally, his style is handing me a single leg, and he can't defend a single leg. That's what his style is for MVP. The way he stands, he's basically going, go on, take the single leg. Go on, I'll just be bouncing around here. You're going to watch for a jab or a flying knee. I want to get to the flying knee as well. I'll tell you this. A flying knee only works when it's a surprise. You know, when you throw it as often as a jab, like, people are jabbing people. The first one surprises you. Oh, that jab was fast. I'll look out for that. Then the next few jabs, you're like, okay, there's the jab again. If you're flying kneeing every time your opponent tries to close the distance, they get used to it. They really do. I know MVP was looking for a flashy knockout and a great knockout and all this and all that. But oh well. I just feel like everyone else in this welterweight Grand Prix is going to eat MVP alive. And I like MVP. I'm proud he won. His dad passed away. Good for him. But everyone else in the welterweight tournament right now is fucking wanking at home. They are jerking their dicks so hard. Oh, free money! Oh, free finalist spot. Douglas Lima is coming everywhere as we speak, thinking about how he's got a free ride to the final. That being said, I still want MVP to win. Because we've seen Douglas Lima versus Rory. And I think Rory's going to get past John Fitch and whoever they match him up against next. I can't remember who it is. But it's not the biggest. It's not the most threatening of opponents. That's probably why I haven't heard about them. Douglas Lima's already got past Koreshkov. I feel like he's going to get past MVP. I feel like Rory's going to clear out his side of the bracket. And I feel like that's the rematch that we need to see. That is. Douglas Lima versus Rory McDonald. Because if you remember the first fight, it was a good fight. It was very close as well. Very close. It wasn't like Paul Daley versus Rory McDonald, you know? Where Rory McDonald just took him down, choked him out easy. You know? It was a close fight. Remember Douglas Lima brutalised that leg? I can't wait. Bellator's doing things right. Hopefully their next card is a bit more fun. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Like and subscribe, guys. Thank you for watching the stream. I haven't slept at all. So, yeah. I'll see you later. Goodbye.